system, but you missed a stop, or you keep lowering your risk, or you keep taking those paper cuts just because you're, trying to make money back and stuff. That's on you. So that's something that you might have something going on in your life.
In the 8 years you've been trading, what has been your biggest loss?
Biggest loss? That's a scar. SPI, I was shorting SPI, it went from 1 to the 17. And I was shorting it, and it was
1 to the 70. $70
in one day. It was a micro flow. It was in 2021, I think. And I was shorting it, and I saw like my unrealized, and as every short seller, like we want that to, because eventually we will go down. Like eventually we'll correct, but you don't know if it's going to be in the tens and and I was like, I think that the average was like 35 or so. Like it was not a bad average, but that when I realized that day, and that's why I think losses are really important, like for us. They really, really make us understand what the other side of the trade looks like. Like whenever I'm in a trade right now and I see those kind of squeezes, I know how it feels. Like I really, really understand how it feels, and I know why people do what they do. So when you understand like the mass psychology of it, it's not the same thing that somebody tries to explain. Hey, the short sellers are screwed, blah blah blah. But you really like experience it. That's another thing, and I think that loss like made me understand. Like I don't short low flows on first green days when they do high of days nowadays, just because of that. So that loss, I think it's worth millions of dollars just because of that. Even though it was like a $15,000 loss or so.
And so it really helps you for future trades. Now you don't trade those anymore.
And I take advantage of them. Like
that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, what do you do now? Because you said you know what it feels like now on the other side. How does that help you?
I take advantage of it right now. Like when I see that kind of extension, and when I see those kind of patterns, I try to take advantage of them alongside.
Isn't that something?
It's cool.
Can you explain real quick? Because I know someone's probably wondering, like, short. Like, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean?
Short is going against the stock. Like, if the price goes down, like you benefit from it, and you win money, you earn money. When it goes against you is when they go up, and that's pretty scary because you might lose more than you put in. So it's really, really scary to be on those kind of plays, because you could lose like your whole account and owe money to the broker even if they don't close your position in it.
Absolutely. I'm curious. Do you have stops now? Like, did you have a stop? Like, what happened?
That day I had it, and I was just like so convinced that it will go down.
Yeah.
That. I don't know what happened. Like a deer on the lights.
Yeah.
That expression?
Yeah, it's so true.
I haven't experienced that until that day, and that's real. Like that's something you got freeze, because I've never used like hard stops, like mechanical hard stops. I always like being really disciplined and just got it in when my risk is. But that day I couldn't, and I don't know, I just flipped, and I just waited. It was maybe minutes. Like, it was not a long trade. It was maybe minutes, but those minutes, man, it's so hard.
It's crazy, because I know people are hearing this, and I know back in the day I felt like, too, I was ignorant. I didn't feel like that would ever happen to me. Like getting frozen. And it literally happens. Like, it happens to me, and then what happened to you one day if you trade long enough?
It will happen to you. Like, of course it will.
Yeah, it will.
Of course.
If you trade long enough, it's gonna happen. And so that's why it's so good to learn from these lessons, not risk too much, that where you can blow up. Because you can blow up in those situations.
Like, if you get an HKD, which no liquidity is in, like you probably will.
That's insane, man.
It is.
Now I'm curious though, man, like when that happened to you, did it kind of like take you out of trading for like a week? Like, did you kind of take a break? Did you just go right back at it? Like, what happened?
Right back at it. I think one of my, like we all have like our
strengths.
Strength, yeah.
For sure.
One of my strengths is recover losses. Like, I've always been really, really good at recovering losses because I think the mindset is really important. That helps me a lot. and I just needed to recover confidence first.
Yep.
And as it was a really, really hot market, bro, like it was really easy to recover. Like that was probably like a 25% of my account. And I think in a week I got it back, you know, because it was so easy to, you know, to make money in those kind of markets that, you know, it helped me a lot. But I think the challenge of recovering a loss is not recovering the money, but recovering the confidence. And you go like, you know, like really hurt and really scarred every time you go to the markets after a loss.
Yes.
So that confidence, when you gain it back, it's really easy to gain the money if you recover that confidence.
How do you recover your confidence?
I do a process actually. It's quite a process. Like I once I get a huge loss, like I do something, you know, try to get my mind clear in a way, and I started like reflecting about how things really are. Not about, because we always tend to put things as they're bigger than they are. Like I'm the worst trader in the world. Like I don't, you know, I'm not useful, and you got that whole like whip on yourself. Like it's not that way. Like you made a mistake, and you gotta understand that there's a mistake that you will have to solve. And then I lower my size like a lot. So I can gain my confidence back.
Give me perspective. Like a tenth of a size smaller.
Maybe if I'm risking,
size?
Maybe half of the size. Maybe.
Okay. Yep.
Maybe half of the size.
So you mean they want to cut your size?
Yeah, because have you ever tried to do paper trading? Have you ever tried to do paper?
Yep.
It's super easy.
Yep,
right?
it's way easier.
It's super easy because
you're almost like, what's going on?
Yeah, you don't have any attachment to it.
Yep.
So whenever you lower your size, it's really easy to make the setups works and stuff. So that's the other thing. And the other thing is, well, try to understand on a mindset level like what happened, because losses they show red flags either on your system or either on your execution. So if it's in your system, you will have like a series of losses, and you will understand that you're not in sync with the market. Like your system is not working in that market environment. So you gotta adjust the system so it can work in that market environment. But if it's an execution part, like it's not the system, but you missed a stop or you keep lowering your risk, or you keep taking those paper cuts just because you're trying to make money back and stuff, that's on you. So that's something that you might have something going on in your life that you have to solve. And that something might be, a thing with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, whatever, and or your son or your daughter or your mom, whatever. And once you get to solve that, once you get to understand that conflict of interest that you have in your head, then everything like starts to work. So
hey, we wouldn't be able to do these face-to-face interviews if it wasn't for our sponsor, Cobra Trading. So if you can just give them a few seconds of your time, we'd really appreciate it. Cobra Trading is the go-to broker for day traders and short sellers. And I'm not the only one saying this. In fact, Benzinga awarded Cobra Trading as the go-to broker for short selling. They have a heavy focus on direct market access order routing, so you have the fastest execution. They have some of the best locate prices and availability. They also have amazing customer service. I've experienced many different brokers, and it's why I use them every single day and why I'm proud to have them as our sponsor. Sign up now by clicking the Be the Trader referral link below and earn 1 free month of software with Cobra and 25% off all commissions. Now let's get back to the show. Did you have something like that?
I did.
Well, do you mind sharing?
Yeah, sure. I've always thought that in order to be successful at trading, I had to be at the rock bottom. Like, I don't know why. But I've always, like broke and stuff, and had a hero history and hero story and all those things.
Yeah, I hear you.
And if I didn't, until that day, until I was freaking, getting Chinese soup in my house with my wife, I that didn't click until that day. So it was like a really conflict of interest, and also I don't like to say this a lot because many people get furious at me, but I don't care. Like Hispanic cultures, we tend to be a little bit like, as our countries are formed by people that got from war and stuff, we have a lot of like lack of things. And that mindset of lack of things, like it promotes probably like getting rich is, you know, kind of sketchy. Getting rich, you know, the people who got rich is people who not good people. And hey, if I'm good people, like, and I want to get rich, like that's a conflict of interest, you know, and all those things. And I had a few of those. So once I got
how'd you overcome that one? I'm very curious.
That one?
Yeah. The culture.
I just understood that, like, surrounding myself with people that are not from that culture. Made me understand that, you know, money is a good thing, and money is a it's a magnifier. You know, if you're good people and you earn money, then you're gonna be a better person. You're gonna be helping more people, and if you're an asshole, what is gonna happen? You're gonna be worse of an asshole. So I think understanding that from other cultures, and you know, getting my mind in that perspective, that helped me a lot. So that's why when I moved here, it was easier. But when you're there, it's a little bit harder. I'm not saying that my culture is not a good thing or anything like that, but in that aspect of making money, like general, obviously there are people who are above, you know, who are outstanding, but the general basis from religion, from how we got raised and stuff, it's not a good thing, like for the mindset to earn money.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you being here today and sharing that with me, brother.
Oh, Paito.